Another episode of The Third Shift, the best music show that is on YouTube.
Yes, sir.
Now, I'm going to tell you.
What's up, man?
This is a very emotional episode.
Why is that?
Because I think we were all very emotional on Thursday night, but we're going to get to that.
Yes.
I'm still emotional from it.
I am too. That's why it was funny because we were like, because we was getting each other's schedule and everything. And we're like, yep. We gotta have a show after, you feel me, the album we was waiting on, and here we are today.
Here we are, still sad. Still, I'll tell you, man, I'm still going to Kanye's page, looking at the video he posted for the commercial. Like, man, I need this. I need this in my life right now. But
yeah.
But if we start this thing off like always, what have you been listening to this week? What are you gonna put me on to?
So I actually did. I dropped an article earlier. I believe it was this week. Basically just talking about everything I've been listening to. Mainly just because I was shedding light to we in a time where music is dropping every single week, and I love it. I love all of it. Because a lot of people are trying to get their head start in the game. You know what I mean? Trying to widen the length between them and another artist that people say they sound like, or you know what I mean?
Right.
But that Vince Staples album, I talked about it last episode. I talked about I was excited for the album because I thought it was going to be one of his best. It's one of his best.
It really is.
Yeah. No, it's really, really good. And I feel like to make an album like that, it took him years and years to even get to that point. But what I'm really going to put you on to is, in the article I wrote about him too, is Deem Spencer.
Okay.
He just dropped his tape. It's called Deem's Tape. I really want you to listen to this.
Deem's Tape? Okay, bet.
Deem's Tape. And he's influenced by jazz. He says that in like all of his interviews and everything. But he a rapper. So like he just combined all of that together and made his music. But his music has been nice. So between Vince Staples and that's what I've been listening to, man. So that's a
pretty nice. Sounds like a pretty nice catalog you got going on there.
Yes.
Nice. So I will tell you, there's a dude I actually got turned on to because this album dropped in May. I just realized, but it says May on here, but I'm not really sure. So Leon Bridges, you ever heard of Leon Bridges?
Yes. Isn't he like basically a soul singer, right? Yeah.
I will tell you, this last thing, the Gold Digger sound, like, to me, this is really like, some songs sound like Frank Ocean songs, but other songs sound like Party Next Door, which is weird because he has like a crazy, it's almost like, it's really crazy. And I'm just like, this dude has like such a unique sound. He has like Southern influence because he's from Texas. So that's something I've always kind of been big on too. But just, the album was actually a really short list, and it's like 11 songs in 37 minutes. I know we've talked about that before, kind of, getting through things. So the fact that he has a sound of like two guys I really like, and a short, I've been a huge fan of this. This has been on my playlist for the last couple of days. So I've really been a big fan of Leon Bridges the last couple of days, I'd say.
I'm probably gonna have to tune into that.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds right up my alley. I listened to Leon Bridges a couple of times before, but I haven't really went back. But
I wasn't hip to him until maybe about a week ago, and I was like, it's not bad. Not bad. So for sure.
But I mean, you feel me? I've been listening to a lot of music to fill the void for freaking Kanye West, who was supposed to drop Donda yesterday.
Man.
What's your thoughts, man?
Bro. So I remember when we first started this thing, one of the first episodes we talked about the Biggie documentary that was on Netflix.
Yep.
Well, shortly after that, it was like, oh, we're supposed to get a Kanye documentary coming out soon too.
Ooh,
so Kanye he just keeps adding to this list of things that we're supposed to get from him, and it's just like, bro, what are you doing?
You know what really made me like, I'm salty. Is my boy Quan texted me like, because we were talking about the listening party that he had.
Yeah,
where he rented out all of the Benz Stadium and sold that mug out for a listening party. They said tickets was like a band. They said people were spending $1,000 to just be in that room. It was $30 chicken tenders, $50 bags of popcorn. The merch was $100 a shirt. It was dudes selling bag of air on eBay.
That's stupid.
It was insane. And it hyped me up to a unbelievable level. And my boy texted me like, this is the stuff of legends. Like only a legend could do something like this. I'm like, okay, I agree.
No,
the first thing I heard is they said he didn't even say anything at the listening party.
That's wild.
I'm not spending $1,000 to not hear a word, bro.
I'm not either.
Like,
but that goes back to your point, though. We were talking about he's just like the master mind controller, man. Because think if you really think about it, as much as I love Drake, I don't think Drake could sell out an arena like that for a listening party. I don't think anybody else within the rap community could do that. I don't think that's crazy. And like you even look at the fact that like he played the Jay-Z verse and they said Jay-Z didn't send his verse in until like 4 p.m. that day. I'm like,
you know why they said they could tell was he had a Giannis bar in there. So he said something about the Bucks winning the championship, and I'm like, oh my goodness.
They said he waited to the last minute to do this, and I was like, man, that is. But I will ask you though, I'm curious. Do you respect him more for wanting to put 2 more weeks into it instead of just like giving us the product now, or do you think he's had enough time to work on it already? I
don't respect this at all. Just being a music fan that I am, like don't tell us the date then. If you're gonna do that, don't tell me when it's gonna release. Like I said, my hype is gone. Like I don't have any hype for it. When it comes out to me, and that's why I respect people that do take art seriously, because this doesn't feel like it's taking art seriously. Like, Lil Durk called me, I'm gonna put Lil Durk on the song. Come to the studio, blah blah. You know what I mean? Forget the release date I had. Like it just doesn't make sense to me. I just don't like it.
It doesn't. I'm kind of like you. I think obviously like we'll both listen to it when it comes out, but it's not like on my map. Because like, bro, I'll tell you, this past Thursday night, that was all on my map. I was like, bro, I'm carving out time. I was like, I don't care what I'm doing. I was like, I'm listening to Donda at midnight. And then just to not have it, it's kind of like, August 6th will get here. It might not even drop August 6th. So
it might not. And that's why I was like, it's really just not, it's not going to be hyped to me anymore. And it was funny because me and my boy Trey, we was in the studio that night. We was chilling, working on stuff in the studio. And it made it to like 11:50, I think. And I think he just finished a verse or something. I'm like, bro, let's chill for a second for this not messed up our whole momentum in the studio, man. I was like, man, let's get back to work, man. Kanye playing with us, man.
Now you need a Kanye diss track.
I ain't speaking Kanye's name on anything now. I'm cool.
The last thing too, before we wrap up the discussion about this album, because I think we talked about this before too, is do you think the features are going to carry this album? Like, do you think because of who Kanye has on here? Because the list looks pretty good.
I don't know. Every opinion that I had of this album, before he messed up the release, is gone. Okay. But my opinion of this album was it was going to be groundbreaking. It was going to be unique. Shout out to Kanye for not making the same albums twice. Like I had a lot of opinions going into this album, and now I'm just like what are you doing? Like, are you trying to make it sound different? Like, was it trash? You know what I mean? Like, my opinions are all over the place, man.
Yeah, nah, that's fair, bro. Yeah, so I think we're on the same boat. We're like, we'll listen to it when it comes out, but we don't really have our hopes up for it as much anymore.
Exactly. But while I was out on social media just scrolling because I was bored at 1 a.m. Saudi, I see that Lil Uzi bought a freaking planet.
That don't make no sense.
They said, hold on. I got this article right here where basically it's not even in travel distance. First of all, it's light years away. Like if we hopped on a rocket ship today to get there, no one would ever know if we made it or not.
Jeff Bezos should have went.
Yeah, that's everybody was talking about. Like Jeff Bezos came back, but it's called WASP 127b, a gas giant discovered in 2016.
And he bought. How much money is it to buy a planet?
Like, no one knows. That's the thing. People's talking about who do I call to buy a planet?
Right?
That's a scam. I should sell planets. That should be my new job.
Bro, I feel like you. So this dude got a diamond in his forehead,
which was 20 million.
He's buying like that's just who. There's no words for that much money. Like
it isn't, and that's what I seen a comment where somebody was like, "These rich people would rather burn their freaking money in the backyard instead of give it to anybody."
Yeah,
and I think that's the reality we in when we see a rapper buy a freaking planet.
I think he's trying to take on that. Oh, Soulja Boy might be the first one to bought a planet.
Why you say that?
Soulja Boy is the first one to do everything, but maybe Soulja Boy bought a planet.
Right,
already.
He probably has like some certificate sitting somewhere like, no, I own 27B Alpha. And, you'll be like, what?
It belongs to Soulja Boy probably.
Yeah, but property. Space travel and all that stuff, man, that's so out of my scope. Because me and you, that's not our lifetime. You know what I mean? For people, there's still people we know that's in the hood. There's still people we know that's not eating. Like, to think about space travel, it just doesn't resonate with me, and it probably don't resonate with a lot of the people that are fans of a Lil Uzi. Like, they're like, what is a planet doing for me on planet Earth?
Right? Yeah,
absolutely nothing, man.
Nothing at all. Yeah, that's weird. I got to go look this up because when you told me that, I was like, what the hell is he? I was like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it doesn't. It
doesn't
make
no sense.
So while we talking about rich people and people making money, all of these celebrity boxing matches, man, what's been your opinion on those, man?
So I'll put it like this. I don't really have much of an opinion on the event itself.
Uh-huh.
It's the way that some of the people, the spectators, act when they come there, because I'm sure that's what you're going to go to. Because I'm like, you get people running out on the NBA floor. You're talking about the Blueface fight, and I'm just like, first of all, what is the security like for people to just run? Like, you know what I'm saying? It does not make any sense to me. It's so weird.
It's funny you asked that, because the very first instance that I was like, dang, like, we really got to do something about people coming on the floor. It was a security guard that got into it with PJ Tucker. Do you remember that when they played the Brooklyn Nets?
Yep.
And I was like, we got to think about a dude who probably lives in Brooklyn or New York, is obviously a fan of New York and Brooklyn, is on the floor bodying the other team. Like, we really have to worry about this. Like, this is a problem. He has, like, PJ Tucker did a chokehold. Like, hold on.
I feel like this year might have been like the record year for all that stuff, because I felt like you remember the guy at the Wizards game. It was just
just ran on the floor. They looking at him like, what does this do for anything?
Yeah. Well, I guess apparently he had a shirt on for some business, and people were like, "Oh, well, that's good advertising for the business." It was like, so it was a weed business, which was funny. And I was kind of like, "Well, if you're going to go to jail for advertising, then I mean, I guess go for it." But I don't know. You just wonder, man. Like, what is up? Like, why do you spend that much money on a ticket to get in there? And then
that's a lot.
Just to do that,
that's a lot. That's not smart advertising to me. It's not at all.
It's terrible.
I'm actually glad you brought that up, because I had this thought, because this is the topic I brought up was Blueface fought his name was Kane Trujillo. I don't know who he is. I think he's like a YouTuber or something. I don't know who he is. But Blueface basically bodied him. Like, it wasn't even like a even fight at all. And Blueface is celebrating around the ring, dapping up his team, and some dude come up there, and he looked like he was probably front row already.
Yeah.
So it's funny you saying that, because it could have been some, like, you know what I mean, advertising in some weird way. I don't know.
And this might sound bad, but I feel like Blueface isn't the type of dude, like, he's not the celebrity I'd want him to jail for. Like, if I'm going to run up on a celebrity and go to jail,
that's not the one I'm doing it for.
He's not Blueface. Like, he has some decent cuts, but he's not somebody I'm running up on to go to jail for. Now, like, somebody like Drake or LeBron's in front of me, I'm like, I go to jail for this. This is cool.
No, it's funny, but Blueface got like 3 good hits on him, where I was like,
he did. I saw this morning.
Was that worth it?
You wonder, man. And even like I've often thought too, like people that pay for like the pay-per-views and stuff, when the fights are over like super quick, I'm like, bro, you literally just paid like $50 to watch a 30-second fight.
I have never spent money on a boxing fight. They end 5 minutes sometimes, 30 seconds sometimes, and you got to sit there and waste 2-3 hours watching dudes you don't even know in the first place. And I've never spent money on a boxing match. I can't. I just can't at this point in my life. I
used to get the WWE pay-per-views as a kid.
Hey, them is fire. You know what you get with those.
I got Armageddon 2007, bro. I was like, I'm not Cyber Sunday. I was like, I'm not playing. I'm getting Cyber Sunday 2008.
Oh, man. You just threw me back with that. Them are bangers. Them are all bangers.
But yeah, I'm like you though. You spend 2 hours watching the prelims, and then you get to the real fight, and it's like McGregor breaks his leg like a minute. I'm just like, really, like I don't get it. It's terrible.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
But I mean, that's all for me, man. Did you have anything else, man?
Nah, I count on you to bring the fire topics, man. This is like a Friendsgiving. I just bring the paper plates. You bring the entrees. So,
I bring the sides and the mac and cheese.
I know. I'm kind of stepping back to being the co-host. This is like this little thing. So
this was fun, man. And I'm looking forward to see if we can talk about the Kanye West album in the next episode. And until then, forget Kanye at this point.
I'm over it. I'm hoping somebody big drops here soon, like maybe like within our next couple episodes or something, or we might have a guest the next. I mean, you never know. Yes. There's always some stuff to talk about, people to talk to. So yeah, it's always fun doing it.
Yeah. So hey, I appreciate everybody tuning in, man. And this is the third shift. We out of here, man.
Nope, we out of here. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Yep.